filming these people without their consent. He was filming them. Don't forget that. He was filming and watching them remote. He was watching these freak off parties. Weirdo. Weird. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next subject. We are going to talk about a woman by the name of Hollywood. She had been exposed in the industry years ago, and she used to work in the industry. She even said she had a few artists that she, tried to get them signed with different record labels like Uptown Records and stuff like that. And she was exposing hip hop, how demonic it was, and all the rumors and everything about these celebrities. She was the one saying this. And so I've been like, looking through her videos and stuff like that. And there's a lot of parallels between her and Jag. Except, here's the thing, Jag stole this lady's stories and put her own twist to it. Literally stole this lady's stories and put her own twist to it and like switched it up a little bit. And we're telling stories like she was there, but it's all like, Jag, we don't have any pictures of you with Diddy or anything like that. So now, right then, I have a feeling I'm gonna see a lot more Hollywood videos now. So with that being said, there's a video that Hollywood did, aka Rebecca Scott, where she was talking about the Kim Porter situation, and she was basically letting it be known, yeah, this was pre-planned. Kim Porter's demise, her death, was pre-planned. Now, in the indictment, it does not mention anything about Kim Porter, but on Don Richard's lawsuit, it mentions that Kim Porter was he put his hands on Kim Porter and stuff like that. And another one of the lawsuits had mentioned that he attacked Kim Porter as well too. So there's a lot of different themes and different stories that have came out about how abusive Diddy is. I don't like to say the word was, is. He's still out here, so is. I'm going to go ahead and play all 4 parts. I broke it up so we can give commentary after each one. So this is the first part. Let's listen to it.
I have a lot to say. And I did not, now let me just put this out there. I did not personally know Kim, but I have known Diddy for most of his adult life. I'm talking over 25 years. And this video will include a lot about him, and a lot of questions will be answered in regard to Kim's death. I felt it was very important, and this is why I'm doing it. And I did pray over it. I prayed over it before I even started because I wasn't sure if I should do it. But I feel led to expose this man. This is the reason that Puffy named his company Bad Boy. He is a bad man. So let's start off with Kim. Okay, so she's being touted as the girlfriend and the baby mama of Diddy. And she died on November 16th. She was born in Atlanta, Georgia on December 16th, 1972, which makes her 46. Not 47, which is widely reported in almost every news video, every news media. She was 46. Now, she first dated Albie Shore in 1990, and she later gave him their first child, a son named Quincy Jones, born in 1991. And he was obviously named after the producer, Quincy Jones, who also was the one who discovered him in a talent contest. Kim was working as a receptionist at Uptown Records, which was Al's label at the time. He was being produced by Andre Harrell and put out on Uptown. And this is when she cheated on him. She was married to Al, and she cheated on him with Diddy, who in 1994 began his career at Uptown as a talent director. His card said A&R. He had a few titles when he was working there, but the main thing was that he was on the come up. So after working there for quite some time, he finally founded Bad Boy Records in 1993. And it was also in 1993 that his first biological child, Justin, was born to designer Misa Hilton Brim. Now, for Justin's 16th birthday, Diddy presented him with a $360,000 Maybach car. And his restaurants, Justin's, are also named after this son. In 1998, Kim bore Diddy a son, Christian Casey Combs. And it wasn't until 2001 that Diddy was ordered to pay her over $20,000 per month for child support. This was also, by this time, they said he had adopted, just to go back to Al B. Shore's son, they say he adopted Al B. Shore's son, Quincy. But I'm not sure if it was ever official, but he did raise him like his own. And he even threw Quincy a celebrity-studded birthday party and gave him 2 cars as his 16th birthday present. Now, Kim had an off and on again relationship with Diddy, which lasted from 1994 to 2007. But I'm going to tell you, they called it a relationship. I don't call it that. Back in the day, James Brown had a song called Can I Get a Witness? And in the song, it says, sisters, if you love your man, be careful how you tell him that, or he will put you up in a corner and use you like a Sunday hat. The sad reality is that she was Diddy's doormat for 13 years. In fact, during their time together, when they got blessed with twin daughters, Delilah and Jessie, who were born in 2006, 5 months before their birth, his daughter Chance was born to Sarah Chapman. Now, even though the birth of the twins upped Kim's child support to $150,000 a month, he also covered their education, insurance, and even legal fees. It wasn't until 2007 that he took responsibility for Chance, and that was October of that year. But a little known fact is that he also took out a $2 million life insurance policy on Kim and their children, despite him affording her tremendous assets and properties as well. Now, a little bit.
Thank you, Mimi, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I wanted to talk about Kim's autopsy because remember, there's been a lot of controversy about that. So she died on the 15th, and then on the 16th they did the autopsy, but the reasoning was deferred, and then it wasn't until January when they said she had the lobar pneumonia. So basically, walking pneumonia, that's what she had, and that's why they said she passed away. And so there had been that controversy. So at the time that Hollywood had did this video, there was no results for why she had passed away. And again, you'll look at articles where they say like people are suspicious of the reason why and why that information was being deferred. Like no one ever felt comfortable. Well, let's not say no one ever. We still don't feel comfortable knowing that Kim passed away. We don't. We don't feel comfortable with that at all. It never is going to sit right. Especially with a woman who looks so vibrant, looked like she was full of life, and knowing that people said, oh, I had just spoken to her a few days ago, and all of a sudden now she's gone. Like, it just didn't make sense. So what I'm trying to say in short is even if Diddy didn't do anything, it's never going to sit right with anybody. Never. And so again, she mentioned about how Quincy was adopted, and she even said, like, I felt like Diddy might have paid off Albie Shore. There's a lot of information about that because a lot of people have said that Albie Shore is basically threatened, and then that's why he wasn't in Quincy's life. But it just makes it. But on the other hand, people were saying, "Oh, he was just a deadbeat and stuff like that." But he had a relationship with his other children, so I don't see why he wouldn't have wanted one with Quincy. You know what I mean? There's still a lot of questions about that. So let's go ahead and play the next part.
Background on Diddy, because like I said, I know him. I know him very well. So it's not like I'm talking about somebody I don't know. I know this man. And like a lot of you Lost Tribe nigglets, Diddy has a type. Light skin and good hair. If you go through all the women he done been with, only one is dark skin. And a friend of mine, a male friend of mine, told me that the only reason Kim got a pass was because she had that good, what they consider quote unquote, good Indian hair. He also told his friend, who was my friend, that he would never marry a dark-skinned woman because he didn't want no black-ass, nappy-headed kids. Now, I never doubted he said this because look at a picture of his mama hanging out with this other Lost Tribe negress, little Kim. That's self-hate to the nth degree. So he probably grew up with this mindset. And like I said, if you go through all the baby mamas and all the pictures, there's not a dark one in there, only Kim. Only Kim. But moving on, in 2008, he, as far as his principles and morals go, he told the Daily Telegraph that he did not adhere to any specific religious domination. He said, I just follow right from wrong so I can pray in a synagogue, a mosque, or a church. I believe there is only one God. But the part that he left out, which many of us who know him know, is that the one God he believes in is himself. Now, here are some questions for you to ponder. Why would Albert Brown, allow another man to adopt and raise his son if there was no issue at hand? Like I've said, Diddy is color struck. And even though Justin came out fairly light, he liked Al's son, and I believe Al was paid off. I believe that Diddy paid Al off during a time when his career was on the downward path, because he had a few hot records, and then you remember Al just kind of slipped out of sight. And but he also had that trumped up rape case and a few other things that might have contributed to it. But the fact of the matter is that Diddy raised this man's son, and to this day, Quincy considers Diddy his daddy. My other question is, there are only a handful of cases where the autopsy does not reveal the cause of death. Usually when people die, the whole point of the autopsy is to find out what killed them. It is very likely that we will never know what really killed Kim, because now she's already in the ground. All they have to rely on now is some tests they took while the body was still at the coroner. And if they couldn't find out at the coroner, I'm pretty sure the tests are going to come back inconclusive as well. Why? Because money can buy a lot of silence. This is no secret. But here is something y'all really, really need to think about. Remember the Promethean casket? The one that Aretha was buried in, and Michael Jackson and James Brown, all these high profile people got this gold casket. Did y'all know, if you go on the website, it takes 2 weeks to manufacture the casket. You have to order the casket 2 weeks in advance. That's why Aretha's body, if y'all go back to my video on Aretha, her body stayed up out of the ground for 2 weeks while they were waiting for this thing to get built. But Kim died on November 16th, and the casket was ready. Who ordered the casket 2 weeks before she died? Who does that? Think on that. And here you can see all the little features it comes with in case any of y'all want to place your order. But here is the final thing. Someone sent me this little post, and in it, it says that Kim was writing a tell-all book about Diddy. Now, I remember meeting the first receptionist at Uptown, because I had went there to try to get some boys that I was representing. I was trying to get Andre to sign them. I don't remember the name of the group. But there was a girl that worked there.
So again, in 2018, I don't know how it was, but I know now you can get a Promethean casket within a week. I put in my address and it said I could get it by the 26th if I put in my order today. So today's the 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 7 days. So yeah, about a week you could get one. Now, at the time in 2018, I don't know if it took 2 weeks, but that is very interesting because, oh, what I forgot to look up, you guys, when did they have Kim's funeral? What day was her funeral? So she died on the 15th. When was Kim Porter's funeral? I forgot to look at on the 24th. Oh, that would have been about 2 weeks. Yeah, that would have been about 2 weeks. Okay, that one, yeah, that one's not off to me at all. AT2, you did not order a whole cat. No, I didn't. I just pretended like I was going to order it, and I put in my address to see the time limit. Okay, but yeah, okay. So that part is incorrect. That would have been about 2 weeks. The 24th. So, um, yeah, that would have been enough time. That's about 10 days, basically. Almost 10 days, like 9 days. Yeah. They could have had it by then. Especially he got money. He probably could have been like, yeah, hurry up and order that for me. So anyway, moving on from that. When she was talking about the whole colorist thing, I kind of believe that. Because I've heard, like, especially women, Y'all gonna be mad at me. Y'all about to throw tomatoes. But I heard a lot of women say, I want me a light skinned baby, so I'm gonna get with a light skinned man so I can have a light skinned baby. As well as there's some men who would be all like, I want me a light skinned woman. I don't think men think about the whole having a light skinned baby. I think we more or less think about um, it would be, oh, I want a light skinned girl or something like that. Either way, I can believe it. And Quincy, he is light skinned, and so he kind of fits the bill. So I can see like, oh well, yeah, this is my son right here. Because with Misa didn't have any other children. Justin is the oldest. That's his first. And I like how she was tying in how when Misa had her baby in 1993, but then he was with Kim in 1993. Then he had his son Christian, the one tied up in all those cases. He had his son Christian, but when she got ready to have the twins, he had a baby with another woman 6 months before. And don't forget, him and Kim didn't officially break up until 2007. She had the twins in 2006, but he had a baby with Sarah Chapman 6 months before the twins were born. So there was a lot of overlapping and stuff like that. And so basically, he was in control of these women. Now, Misa went on to have her own kids and stuff like that, which was good for her. She went on to have two other kids. But, with Kim, Sarah, as we know, Sarah doesn't have any other children. Like, Diddy is her only baby daddy, as we know. But it's like a theme, like just like the new baby, the one Love Combs. Her mom, I only seen pictures of the baby on her Instagram. I've never seen the other siblings that her mom might have. That probably is her only child. So it seems like he only likes women who don't have any other children. But in this case with Kim, it was different because she had Quincy. So yeah, it got to be something with that. It got to be something with that. And again, a lot of you guys were saying in the chat, and she mentioned like, yeah, Quincy, he probably was paid off and told to go away. I think more than just paid off. I think allegedly he could have been threatened. And again, I wonder if Albie Shore is a witness as well too. Remember, Albie Shore had that he wrote this letter and published this letter about like he was being threatened, and if you guys, if I end up missing, just know I'm gonna make sure my story gets out. My lawyer is notified. Yeah, we talked about that letter back when this all first went down. So there's a lot to that. There's a lot with that. And then I'm just gonna play that part where she said about Lil Kim. Shout out to Lil Kim, but it cracked me up though. I ain't gonna lie. It cracked me up. I'm gonna play that part one more
Background
time.
on Diddy, because like I said, I know him. I know him very well. So it's not like I'm talking about somebody I don't know. I know this man. And like a lot of you Lost Tribe nigglets, Diddy has a type. Light skin and good hair. If you go through all the women he done been with, only one is dark skinned. And a friend of mine, a male friend of mine, told me that the only reason Kim got a pass was because she had that good, what they consider quote unquote, good Indian hair. He also told his friend, this who was my friend, that he would never marry a dark skinned woman because he didn't want no black ass nappy headed kids. Now I never doubted he said this because look at a picture of his mama hanging out with this other Lost Tribe negress Lil Kim. That's self hate to the nth degree.
She said Lost Tribe Negress. Oh my God. Hollywood. Yo. Hollywood is a trip. Or was a trip, I should say. I'm gonna go ahead and play the next part. She continues with the story about Andre Harrell as well as that comment that she put up on the screen from Facebook. So here we go.
Named Champagne, and her and I became pretty tight, so we used to hang out together. And one of the places we used to hang out was a club called Bentley's, which was on, I think, 41st Street back in the day. Well, one night she came to pick me up in a brand new Mercedes. And I said, where you get this car from? Because I knew damn well Andre wasn't paying her that kind of money because he was a cheap old queen. And later that night, while we was at the club, after she had a few drinks in her, she told me, she said, I got the Mercedes to keep my mouth shut because I walked in on Diddy on his knees giving Andre oral. At that time, Diddy was called Puff Daddy. And she said, I walked in on Puff Daddy on his knees giving Andre oral sex. And Andre bought me the card, told me not to ever tell nobody. Now, Diddy also dated a girl from back in the day that I'm still close with. And I remember this girl telling me long ago that the reason she stopped dating him was because she got tired of him asking her to wear a strap on during sex. Apparently, this was something that he enjoyed. So I'm wondering, was Kim going to expose all of this in this book? Because if you've been with someone 13 years, I'm sure there's a lot to tell. And if that was one of his things, it is very likely that she was going to blow it out the water. Now, according to this post, there was also a break-in at her house on the day she died, and 2 of her laptops were stolen, but it was kept hush hush. And I don't care what you say, cops can be paid off, the coroner can be paid off, even the district attorney have been paid off, judges have been paid off. People get paid off. My other question and answer is, they say Diddy and Cassie broke up not years ago, but months ago. I think it was in the summer they broke up. Why the hell, the day after his baby mama, who he claimed he loved and had a special bond with and all this shit, the day after, he's hanging out with Cassie. So you call up your ex when your baby mama died, the day after, to hang out? Now, I know Marvin said, sometimes you need sexual healing, but I would think that if you are grieving, the last thing you need is an ex to come and wipe away the pain. There's usually a reason an ex is an ex. So this is my Q&A on the situation, and I want to just say, Kim rests in power. It should be a lesson to those of you out there who think that, money can solve everything. It can't. Because with all the money this woman had, it didn't stop her from going to meet her maker. There is nothing in this world that is worth exchanging your soul. And when you dance with the devil, at some point, the music stops. Okay, that's all I have to say about this. I'm going to show y'all some scenes from the funeral, and I'll make a little commentary here and there during that time. Afterwards, I'll follow with prayer. Thank you, and God bless. So the funeral services started off Saturday with the family gathering at the Marriott in Georgia. And I don't know why Russell Simmons is there holding court like it's his kin. But anyway, so he's there, and you see a few of the other attendees. Some of these people are not even related to Kim, but I guess they got on a guest list. Celebrity's a hot ass mess. But here's Diddy. He showed up, and he's got all kind of servants and people to wait on him and console him. And I hope he's feeling guilty as hell. I hope he is, because he did not treat Kim right in life. So he got one heck of a nerve showing up looking all sad. But anyway, that's her as a child. She's a beautiful child. And the picture on the right, that's her and her mama. Her mother died in 2012. And so all throughout the program, there were pictures. There she is with Quincy, her son. And there at the bottom, she's...
So Diddy worked at Uptown Records, which was owned by Andre Harrell. So that's who Andre Harrell is. And so the story she was telling was that the girl had seen him giving fellatio, giving lettuce to Andre Harrell. And like I said in the beginning, that's where a lot of people say Diddy got this from him, Clive Davis, blah, 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 so forth, right? So with that being said, she was also telling a story about how her friend was tired of using a strap on and all that other shit going on. So yeah, and the thing about those stories, because I was thinking about taking that part out and then just continuing with Kim, but the reason why I left that in there because I want you guys to see like the parallels between the stories that Jag be telling. Because didn't Jag tell a story about Diddy giving Andre Harrell? This is where Jaguar Wright heard all of this stuff from. Yes, she was Lexi. She was Panamanian. I don't want to say Pomeranian, Panamanian. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that you hear Jag say, this is where she got it from, Hollywood. Jag is retelling stories. Yes, exactly. This is where she got it from. She studied all of this. That's why I wanted to mention that. Now, Trey, shout out to Trey because Trey was like, she's very critical of Kim. When I first heard it, I was like, ooh, she's like really going in on Kim. But I think it's fair, and I'm gonna get to why. I think the criticisms would be are fair because I have a question for Kim. Notice how Misa sometimes is vocal, sometimes not vocal. Did somebody call this phone? Oh, sometimes vocal, sometimes not vocal, and then she'll throw little hints and subliminals out there. Well, I don't know if Kim would have been out there, fighting and trying to get justice. Like, I think Kim would probably play the same role that the other baby mamas do and just be quiet. No, if Diddy did something to Kim, I definitely want justice to be done. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if Kim would be out there fighting like how we're fighting for her and basically saying something's wrong, something's going down. I don't know if she would be the same as Misa, or would she be out there fighting too as well? I kind of question it. And again, y'all can disagree. I don't mind. Y'all can disagree. But in that sense, I can see that happening where she would just be quiet. Just like Misa is being quiet, I think Kim probably would be quiet too. I mean, she got, as long as the money coming in, she's taken care of. Okay, I'll be quiet. I'll shut up. Because don't forget, the girls are being babysitting. I shouldn't say babysit, but not their legal guardian. But there is a one. Their Kim's best friend is the one that watches the girls while they're in LA, and they go to school and stuff like that. Still in LA. Kim's best friend. So the best friend knows some stuff, and if the best friend ain't speaking, probably because she wants to make sure the girls are okay. And I think that's also why Misa and the other baby mamas don't speak, because they want to make sure that their kids are okay. I can't blame them in that case. I don't have kids, but I can imagine like I'm gonna put up with the bullshit because I just want my kids to be okay. I mean, there's situations where there's people who broke, and there's women who will stay with the man just because they want the father to be involved, and they'll put up with the BS. Haven't you guys heard these stories before? I ain't trying to go deep, but we got to go a little deep with it. Thank you, Terry. See, you know. So yes, she is being critical, and I can't say I believe everything, but I think she has a right to question, like, damn, Kim, like, why were you around this? Like, why were you still dealing with this man? And the part where she mentioned like Cassie was hanging out with him afterwards, they had rekindled and stuff like that. I have to look at Cassie's lawsuit, but I remember she said there was a situation in 2008. They went to dinner or something like that, and then, but I don't know if it gave a date, if that was pre Kim or pre Kim passing away or after Kim had passed away. That's a good question, but there was if I remember the lawsuit correctly, they had went to dinner, and then he was apologizing, and he tried to force himself on her. These women went through a lot. Again, I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying, um, I don't know if she would have been vocal or if she would have been silent. I don't know. Let me go ahead and play part two as she finished off with the funeral and stuff like that.
Kissing the devil. And okay, so here's the gold casket we talked about. And then here's Quincy saying a few words. And I'll be sure up there. They resurrected his ass from somewhere, and he's up there saying what he has to say. I hope he said why he gave his son away, but he probably didn't. And then they showed pictures. Oh, Kim. Kim there scaring the other guests with that Joker mask. Oh, that's not a mask. Okay, and there's Tashina Arnold and Kimora Lee Simmons. She was supposedly a good friend. And oh, Missy done left some horse bald headed, but there she is. And why everybody grinning? This not autograph signing? But anyway, this is the mother's grave. Very classy. You can sit and talk to Mama, and I guess they'll be sitting there talking to Kim. And here's Diddy, hoping lightning don't strike his ass. He's standing. He made sure he got far away from the trees. And I see one of his boyfriends showed up to support him. Usher is there with him. And then here he is with a Bentley lookalike.
Yo, I should have warned y'all. She is going in at this last one. She said, "There's one of his boyfriends." Yo, Hollywood. And Miss Barbara, yes, she did pass away. She did. The woman speaking Hollywood, aka Rebecca Scott, she passed away.
Kissing the devil. And okay, so here's the gold casket we talked about. And then here's Quincy saying a few words. And I'll be sure up there. They resurrected his ass from somewhere, and he's up there saying what he has to say. I hope he said why he gave his son away, but he probably didn't. And then they showed pictures. Oh, Kim. Kim there scaring the other guests with that Joker mask. Oh, that's not a mask. Okay, and there's Tashina Arnold and Kimora Lee Simmons. She was supposedly a good friend. And oh, Missy done left some horse bald headed, but there she is. And why everybody grinning? This not autograph signing? But anyway, this is the mother's grave. Very classy. You can sit and talk to Mama, and I guess they'll be sitting there talking to Kim. And here's Diddy, hoping lightning don't strike his ass. He's standing. He made sure he got far away from the trees. And I see one of his boyfriends showed up to support him. Usher is there with him. And then here he is with a Bentley lookalike to help him put some flowers on the grave. DJ Khaled, you would think this was the Grammy Awards. I get it. Y'all was on that show together, but I don't know. And then here's Candy Barres, and I don't know. I get the feeling that a lot of the so-called celebrities that showed up just to be seen, to see and be seen. They had the fireworks display at the end, which was nice. It was a nice send-off. Hopefully that's the direction she'll be going. And I ain't trying to throw shade, but when you lay up and have all them kids out of wedlock and all you live for is money, then that's your God. That's your God, people. But anyway, they looking up at the sky to see if she makes it. And then here's that gold casket I told you all about, and they loading it into the hearse. She was buried with her mama at Evergreen. I think I said that already. And then here, Diddy in his Mercedes what do you call it, truck or van or whatever. And then I'm gonna tell y'all something about the South. Kim was a hometown girl. They come out to support their people, but a lot of times funerals in the South, especially one of this magnitude, that's just another event. Cause I lived in the South and ain't nothing to do down there. So when there's a big fancy funeral, everybody get all gussied up to come down there. And here Diddy waving to the people. And just like he did at Biggie's funeral, like the funeral was about him. It wasn't about you. All right, I want to thank y'all for listening to me run my mouth. I'm sure I'm going to hear y'all's mouth regarding what I said. But just bear in mind some of these questions and answers. And just remember that I told you so. Even when I'm long and gone, I want y'all to tune in to my videos and remember that Sister Rebecca told y'all some of these things. Okay, Lord, I ask you to bless the listener, bless the people that tune in, bless those who criticize me, and even those who cuss me out, Lord. Thank you for my life. Thank you for blessing me. And I ask your covering over the little children, the twins, Delilah and Jesse. Just keep their heads on right and help them to grow up not worshiping money and thinking that that's the only thing important in life. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Wow, the ending part, I forgot, like, she gave like a prayer at the end. But it sounded like she was like, hopefully people watching after I'm long gone. Yeah, we're watching. We're definitely watching. Um, yeah, Hollywood, Rebecca Hollywood, she was going in at that funeral. Like, I was like, when she said, "I hope Quincy Quincy got up there." I mean, I'll be sure got up there and said why he gave away his son, but he probably didn't. She was going in on everybody. But the funny part? It looked like a lot of people were smiling and stuff like that. A lot of people were smiling. She was like, this ain't no autograph signing. And then she's like, Candy Burris was there. I don't even know if Candy had a relationship with Kim Porter. That was kind of strange too. And then she pointed out Kimora Lee Simmons. And yeah, it was, man. pneumonia is covering for the real thing. A lot of people have said that. Yes. Let me read some of your comments. After she done cursed to shade the dead, she asked God to bless herself. Laugh out loud. Yeah, she did. She did. That's truly like somebody grandma. They cuss you out and then pray for you. Yeah, it was a lot. Oh, can we get them likes up? We ain't even at 100 likes. But yeah, you guys, that was Hollywood. And the last part about the funeral, she was just pointing out how she was buried next to her mom. And again, it's funny because the dad has came out and said like Diddy doesn't talk to him, hasn't spoken to him in years. So it was like he did this elaborate funeral and then that was it. Like, are the parents taken care of? You know, earlier she talked about the life insurance policy that he put out on the family. Again, I can't say if that's true or not because 2 million seems kind of low. Like a life insurance policy, 2 million for Kim Porter, that seems really low. Like I'm all like, that seems like that would seem like nothing to Diddy, you know? But again, we have questions like, did Kim piss him off? The only thing that Diddy has said is that Kim has said that he was sick, that she was sick, and to take care of the girls. And then all of a sudden she passed away, and that was it. But it's still weird how Corey Gamble, why do I want to say Kim? What's the mama? Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner, that's her boyfriend was there. I guess him and Kim were friends. Kimora Lee Simmons was there. And then Diddy showed up there. Yeah, all that didn't sit right. And people like Kimora Lee Simmons, I feel that she's the one that really holds a lot of the secrets. And she has put out subliminals too. I'm so tired of people putting out subliminals at this point. But she has put out subliminals too. And it's all like, you need to say what it is. Like, stop pussyfooting around it and say what it is. But maybe because she still has a relationship with the twins and stuff like that, she doesn't want to say it. But I'm all like, you can't keep doing this little, putting these inspirational quotes or these cryptic messages. No, say what it is. What do you know? Because why did that fire start at your house? Remember last year? I think it was last year, y'all, when that fire happened. That was after the lawsuit with Cassie. And when the lawsuit with Cassie came out, she put out a subliminal too as well. So it's a lot of subliminals that they be talking about. She got secrets on all her husband. Right. She need to start telling those about her. I guess she need to start with her husbands first, and then she can go to Diddy, right? Dips and dodges. Meanwhile, what Veronica say? Yeah, see the house burning down. Right. Because Diddy thought Kim's book was at Kimora's house. Oh, so that's why he burned it. Yeah. I didn't talk about it this show, but last show I kind of did. I know there's a book, unauthorized book that was supposed to be Kim's journal and told stories and stuff like that. Um, I have not bought it or I'm not interested in purchasing it because one thing, I don't know if it's true or somebody's just putting out a fabrication. Because my thing would be if they're faking these stories and just putting it out, that's horrible because they're making money. Until I get some confirmation, like, yeah, whatchamacallit, like this was Kim from Kim's journal and this is true, then I'll be interested in it. But for now, I'm not trying to help nobody make money off of a lie. Because in that case, any of us can say, oh yeah, I got a journal of Kim and I'm gonna write a story or write a book on it. That's why I haven't dived into that. But again, with this video that I showed from Hollywood, besides just outing Jag and letting y'all know that Jag stole all of this lady's information and regurgitating it now, also to show like people have been talking about the death of Kim for a long time. Like none of this stuff that we're seeing now is new. Everything has already been talked about on old school YouTube. But the thing is that we don't really look at old YouTube like that. Even the way the video was done, that's old school YouTube right there. That's how YouTube videos used to look, you know? But people have been talking about it for years, and it's just now people are capitalizing off of it. Hell, Sloan went, Sloan Bella, the psychic lady, she went viral for saying, oh yeah, Kim's spirit and all this stuff. Well, also Hollywood was very spiritual too. So did Sloan still her shtick from Hollywood? Cause like I said, I don't know if these black spirits be talking to that blonde white lady. I still got questions about that, y'all. I don't know how the spiritual callings work, but I don't know if they're gonna talk to the blonde white lady. I don't know. That's all I'm saying, y'all. But did she steal some of her stuff from Molly? I don't know, but we can look at it. But as I go through Hollywood's videos and stuff like that, I'm going to show those contrasts of like stuff that we've been hearing and then stuff that Hollywood was saying a long time ago, because I feel like this is where yeah, this is where a lot of people have been getting their information from. Hollywood and others who've been around for a long time. I can't just say her, but others who have been around. A lot of people also didn't believe Cassie was getting beat until we saw the video. Yeah, they had to believe the video first. You mean Jaguar, right? Sloan and Jack into it. Yep, they are. Yeah, she uses people information, right, Miss Barbara? That's basically what it is. I just want to make sure I answer a few questions in the chat. Uh, why shit got to be true? It can be loosely based on truth and fiction, nonfiction. If you're selling a woman's journal, that's why it has to be true. If you're selling her journal, this is the premise of the book. This is her journal that I had, and now I'm releasing these stories. It can be fiction if it wants to, but don't say that you had her journal and stuff like that. That's what the problem is. Oh my God! So Jack is selling. I know you just being funny. Oh man, but yeah, very interesting. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and play the last part of Holly's video again, because that shit cracked me up. I ain't gonna
Kissing the
lie.
devil. And okay, so here's the gold casket we talked about. And then here's Quincy saying a few words. And I'll be sure up there, they resurrected his ass from somewhere, and he's up there saying what he has to say. I hope he said why he gave his son away, but he probably didn't. And then they showed pictures. Oh, Kim. Kim there scaring the other guests with that Joker mask. Oh, that's not a mask. Okay, and there's Tashina Arnold and Kimora Lee Simmons. She was supposedly a good friend. And oh, Missy done left some horse ball headed. But there she is. And why everybody grinning? This not autograph signing? But anyway, this is the mother's grave. Very classy. You can sit and talk to mama, and I guess they'll be sitting there talking to Kim. And here's Diddy, hoping lightning don't strike his ass. He's standing, he made sure he got far away from the trees. And I see one of his boyfriends showed up to support him. Usher is there with him. And then here he is with a Bentley look-alike to help him put some flowers on the grave. DJ Khaled, you would think this was the Grammy Awards. I get it. Y'all was on that show together, but I don't know. And then here's Candy Barres, and I don't know. I get the feeling that a lot of the so-called celebrities that showed up just to be seen, to see and be seen. They had the fireworks display at the end, which was nice. It was a nice send-off. Hopefully that's the direction she'll be going. And I ain't trying to throw shade, but when you lay up and have all them kids out of wedlock and all you live for is money, then that's your God. That's your God, people. But anyway, they looking up at the sky to see if she makes it. And then here's that gold casket I told you all about, and they loading it into the hearse. She was buried with her mama at Evergreen. I think I said that already. And then here, Diddy in his Mercedes what do you call it, truck or van or whatever. And then I'm gonna tell y'all something about the South. You know, Kim was a hometown girl. They come out to support their people, but a lot of times funerals in the South, especially one of this magnitude, that's just another event. Cause I lived in the South and ain't nothing to do down there. So when there's a big fancy funeral, everybody get all gussied up to come down there. And here Diddy waving to the people. And just like he did at Biggie's funeral, like he, you know, the funeral was about him. It wasn't about you. All right, I want to thank y'all for listening.
Man, she was a trip. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get the heck up out of here. I appreciate y'all for checking out the video. I appreciate everybody's opinion in the chat, whether we agreed or didn't agree. Everybody's opinion is welcome. Ooh, sorry, I had a burp. Please love one another. Tell somebody you love them. Don't forget, register to vote, www.vote.org. Register or make sure that you are registered. I'm still doing the raffle on October 1st, so don't forget. Just send me the information and then you'll be entered into the raffle. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Be safe. Love one another. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, everybody who subscribed. Sent a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chat, Super Sticker. Shout out to our new member, Mimi. But we out, y'all. Deuces.